All right, so we're still letting some people in. Yeah. Hope everyone is doing well. Let's give a couple more minutes for folks to show up. Alana, your lipstick is very vibrant.
Oh, thank you. I love bright colors, Jarrell. Orange, pinks, and reds, but thank you.
Very vibrant. Very vibrant.
We got a nice crowd here because I thought we would get some folks unable to join with a change in time, but this is nice. Thank you for joining us.
I was thinking the same thing. But I'm fortunate that those of you who are here. Hey, Sal.
Hey, how's it going, Darrell?
Good. Good to see you.
Good to be here.
Hey, Jack. Good to see you 2 days in a row.
Likewise, good to be here.
All right, 2 more minutes and then we'll get started. We may not have a very long meeting today anyway, so but we'll see how it goes. We'll see what the temperature's like here. And you know, not outside, inside. If we go the whole hour, great. If not, that's okay too. Hi, Claire. It's all right, David. I know where to find her. All right, 1 more minute and then we're gonna get rolling. Thank you all for being on time. Those of you who are here, always appreciate that. And Erica. Good morning, Erica. All right, it is 11:05. We're gonna get started. So good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Boston Urban Forest Friends. For those of you who are returning and new, I'm your host, Jarrell Ferguson. I'm the Community Outreach Manager here at Speak for the Trees. Thank you for your positive feedback from the October meeting. Keep filling out your surveys. They help shape the direction of Buff and the work that we're doing and the work that I'm doing in bringing these monthly meetings to you. It's an honor to be here as always on a lovely autumn day. The sun is shining, the sky is blue. It's going to be 67 degrees today, I think, in November. So I don't think we can't complain about that. I have no complaints. But you know, it's always great to have you here as part of this amazing community of tree lovers, advocates, and friends. I also want to say Happy National Native American Heritage Month. It's celebrated in November, every November. It's a time to celebrate the traditions and languages and stories of the indigenous inhabitants of this continent, the indigenous people of Alaska, of Hawaii, and other indigenous island communities around the world, to ensure their rich histories and contributions, continue to thrive with each passing generation. So thank you for that. Thank you for being there, and happy Native American Day. Let's get started with our community updates. Oh, I have the slideshow. Hold on 1 second. There we go. I should have had this screen up while I was talking. All right. All right. So let's move into our agenda for the day. We have Alana Feaser, who is here today, who's going to give us a featured update after our community updates. Alana, you okay with that? You're still good?
Yes, that's fine. Thank you, Jarrell.
Awesome. Yeah, so let's just move into community updates. Who would like to go first? Please raise your hand and we'll get started. There. There we go. It's my first time doing the screen share, so I apologize for my silliness. All right, Sarah Freeman.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, I don't necessarily want to go first, but I did want to raise my hand for an update. So on the Shattuck Hospital, Franklin Park, I think it's since our last meeting, there was a public meeting hosted by Franklin Park Coalition dealing with the recent safety issues, the attack on Jean McGuire, 91-year-old woman, and the increased sighting of needles and encampments in the park. And as much as the meeting organizers wanted to limit the conversation to the immediate problem and not the long-term project, it seemed like the crowd, and they got a good crowd, about 200 people, really wanted to express their opinions. Alana may want to add more about this as well, that the immediate neighbors were not very engaged in the plan. And when the representative from the state tried to describe it as you all agreed, or this was something people had supported, he got some backlash, and he had to distance himself that their vision plan was for 75 to 100 units and related services, and the response is significantly larger, like 4 to 5 times larger than that. So there's not a lot of enthusiasm right now for increasing the type of services, since they didn't seem to do a very good job, at least initially, of protecting the existing park. So I won't go on and on, but it's just interesting to note that that the neighbors are speaking out. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah. Appreciate that. Alana, did you want to add to that update real quick? You just
I did quickly. So like Sarah was saying, so even within the chat, we were asking, because they keep talking about this shared visioning process that happened, excuse me, that was supposed to include the community. And we're asking, well, who within the community did you invite to this shared visioning process? Because a lot of us, like Sarah said, almost 200 people from the community were there. And we, again, didn't have any input into what was going to happen at the park. Sarah has pictures which really illustrate the downhill turn that the park is taking in terms of the amount of needles. There are tents now that are being put up in the park. And then even when the police department came to present, they were just presenting. So I guess the state police and the city police monitor the park, but the city police report and said, well, crime is down.
Revelations, including the prince's close friendship with Mrs. Camilla Parker Bowles.
please put on your mute, please.
Between those who felt it
Was saying that the Boston City Department, with the police department, that they monitored, that crime was down, but we didn't have the full picture because we didn't know like what the state police department was seeing in terms of an uptick. And we know that there has been an uptick in terms of crime. So we felt like that was really a one-sided view of depicting what is really going on in the park. So there are many layered issues to this project, and I'm so thankful to Sarah for working to hopefully restore, the 13 acres and look at it through a different lens. Like, just because you can put the housing there, it doesn't mean that it should be centralized there. All of those services should not be centralized in one condensed area in a beautiful park. So, so thank you, Sarah, for all that you're doing on that.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. All right, Melissa, you're up next. Good morning.
Good morning, and I apologize. That was my tab that suddenly started speaking to me. I apologize. But I wanted to, and I know I've talked to this group before about our Miyawaki forest that we're very proud of in Cambridge that we planted a year ago. I can now add an S to the word forest. We now have 2 Miyawaki forests in Cambridge. The second one, which is really quite what my vision at least was for these forests, is in a much more heavily congested area of Cambridge. It's a smaller Miyawaki forest. In some ways, it's more of a pocket-sized forest. It's really in the middle of Cambridge. It's not in a larger park area where our first one was. And so I really encourage you in Boston to think about doing a Miyawaki forest, finding a space. I know that I talked with Ethan Volk in East Boston about a triangular park over there is possibly a place to do it. But it's just inspiring. It has community engagement, and it's really a learning tool for kids about how forests work, how 4-story forests work within an urban environment. So anyway, happy to share the news with you. And again, if anyone is interested, be happy to connect you to the people who have been responsible for doing these in Cambridge.
Where is it exactly in Cambridge, Melissa?
Well, exactly would be a hard thing for me to say since
Okay.
I haven't been there yet, but it is off of Broadway, really in the part of Cambridge that's really mid-Cambridge. I will send you, Gerald, later the coordinates for it, and you can share that in the notes.
Okay.
But it's hard for me to absolutely describe where, but it's a far denser, area. And this is part of the joy of these, that they can be
Right.
done in that kind of area. So, okay.
All right, thank you. I love receiving coordinates. That's
Yes.
the thing. I love that.
Okay, you will.
All right. Good morning, Erica. You are up next.
Hi, I think y'all might know some of my updates, and I'm not trying to steal your thunder, but I just wanted to say thank you to Speak for the Trees and American Forests and Leahy and everyone. There's a lot more people, but especially Victoria and especially Claire. Really great job, well done planting trees in Harambe Park to replace trees that had come out of warranty and didn't succeed. So replanting that with some really great trees. Yesterday was a really awesome time. Having PowerCore out there is always a really fun thing. And I think that was a really large project that involved community members, and I thought it was really awesome. So just a really good job well done to y'all. And I really appreciate y'all's work to help out that park in particular. Another thing, if I can, Mass Audubon, we had our annual meeting on Wednesday, November 2nd, and the chief, Mariama White Hammond, was a speaker at our event, and we had PowerCore there. There's a video about the program that I mainly work on, Nature in the City, that I'll put in the chat. It's a little bit like there's people from Lowell, there's people from Cambridge, but there is a little bit of mention in Boston. And my section at 4 minutes and 30 seconds is about how trees are the solution for a lot of problems that we have. So I just encourage folks to look into that. And a third community update was just that I really enjoyed going on a walk at the Arnold Arboretum with Jack, and then also another arborist, Russell Clark from Planet Geo, at the Arboretum the other week. We just got out there in person, and it's really great to get together in person. So I'm looking forward to meeting with everyone who's here more often in the field if we can, and hearing about what y'all are up to with the urban forest. So sorry, took a lot of time, but thank you all so much for what you do for trees. I really love this group.
No problem at all, Erica. You were out there yesterday with us, shovel in hand and just digging holes and just kicking butt out there. Thank you so much. We appreciate that. Thank you. David, would you like to talk now? Sorry to put you on the spot.
I see Sarah just raised her hand.
No? Oh, okay. Sarah.
Sorry, my other raised hand function doesn't seem to be working right.
Hi,
I'm Sarah Gardner. I'm here from Friends of the Boston Schoolyards, and I usually can't come on Friday, so this is nice. But I just wanted to tell you about some exciting things happening at schoolyards. Our group has been advocating for outdoor teaching and learning and revamping of schoolyards since the Schoolyard Initiative funding ended. And this year, Boston Public Schools has hired a full-time person, a coordinator of outdoor teaching and learning. This person is not only an educator, but an environmental educator, landscape architect, and has a horticultural degree. So we are super excited about it. They also have somebody from facilities that's now just doing outdoor classrooms and certain things in schoolyards. So a dedicated person, as well as about $3 million that we can invest over the next 3 years. So there's a lot involved in this, but trees are certainly a part of it, and really thinking about redoing and what is going on in the actual environments in our schoolyards and how that links to other things in the city. So we're very excited about Boston Public Schools taking this step. Thank you.
Sarah, that's awesome. Would you mind, would everybody mind putting in their contact information in the chat, just in case, you want to follow up with each other? That's awesome, Sarah. Thank you for joining us. All right. Celeste, you're up next.
Hi, I just wanted to mention, and this is in the broader context of development, developments around the Emerald Necklace are having dire consequences, perhaps, to the parkland if they're built. And right now, the Longwood Place, which is scheduled to be built on at 305 Brookline Ave, I believe, on property now owned and will be leased by Simmons College, has a high-rise building that will cast shadows not only on the Riverway part of the necklace, but also on Lift Park, which is over by the former Landmark Center. If you go to fenwaycivic.org, it has information on this, and the city could use comments. If developers are allowed to set a precedent where the parks will be in shadows, we're ruining what is a public park, and the public space the developers are promising on Brookline Ave, it's still privately owned. It doesn't make up for a public park. So I hope everyone will take a look at that. I'll put fenwaycivic.org in the chat, and send a comment to Mayor Wu and the other addresses listed there if you feel so moved to do so, because that's only one development. There's another one that is scheduled or is under discussion at Charles Gate West, and another one that will be at the end of Arboretum Road, which may or may not cast shadows on the Bussy Brook Meadow. So this is only the beginning. Everybody wants to build near our parks because we try to keep the parks accessible and beautiful. And there are consequences. I mean, they can follow the regulations that are already in place regarding height of buildings. So thank you.
Thank you, Celeste. Appreciate that update. All right. David, you're up, sir.
I don't have much to say. I mean, I think I wanted to just thank Erica and Jack, especially for joining us yesterday. That was great. And in our newsletter that's hopefully coming out in a couple of hours later today, just want to flag that we'll be having our annual celebration at Speak for the Trees on Wednesday, November 30th. It will be hybrid, so both in person and virtual. And we're still trying to figure out exactly where it's going to be, but we have some exciting recognitions to give out, and it'll just be a nice chance to gather and reflect on the year.
Can I add something? Hi, this is Claire. I just wanted to join David in thanking Erica. Sorry about the noise. Erica and Jack, who volunteered with us yesterday. They are both certified arborists, and certainly if anyone else has that certification or is interested in doing that kind of volunteer work, we encourage you to be in touch. And then I just wanted to thank Celeste for bringing that issue of shadow to our attention. And I just wanted to remind anybody or tell you for the first time, if you didn't know, about the Boston Park Advocates, which is a group that has convened in the past around issues like shadows. And we have a Google group, and Celeste and I are on the steering committee. And it's a great other forum for voices to come together around specific advocacy agendas. I really personally bristle a little bit at the idea that we're bracing for a battle of, the green people versus the housing people, because I think it's a false choice. And I think we can do better with actual planning in neighborhoods and communities that kind of meets both of these objectives. So I reject that choice. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you both for that. Yeah. I don't like the sound of that, Claire. So I think that's a little disturbing. The green people versus the housing people. All right. So, well, I don't see any other hands raised. So thank you all for those great updates. If you're interested in supporting any of the work that you heard, please reach out to the person through the chat right now, and feel free to connect with them directly. Thank you. All right, moving on to our featured guest. Let's welcome our dear friend, supporter, and amazing advocate, Alana Feaster. Alana, where are you? Are you there?
I'm here. Thank you so much, Darrell. Good morning, everybody. Hope everyone is doing well. I just wanted to give a couple of updates. Yes, with the first one being our Environmental Action Summit that a number of us who are on the meeting today are helping with planning, like Sarah, Nancy, Tien. We're meeting with David, Jarrell. So it's all hands on deck with planning this summit. We're hoping to get a lot of information out there to the public. We're going to be talking about, I believe it's 5 parcels off Morton Street, Stella Road, Franklin Park, Crane Ledge Woods. And I believe, if I'm missing one, I apologize, maybe Bunker Hill, but those definitely. And then we're going to have a segment on PFAS and the benefits of natural grass. So just trying to provide everyone with all the information they need so that hopefully we can strengthen a grassroots coalition. We'll have links to things that we've learned throughout our advocacy, like, formulating the 10 residence groups, filing environmental restraining orders, like information that's out there, but we're not all aware about, and you don't know what you don't know. I've learned so much in this journey, and we're all trying to come together so that we can have one place centralized to share it with as many people as possible. We are still trying to finalize someone to speak about artificial turf and the dangers of PFAS. So if there's anyone within this group who wants to share their knowledge and, is kind of like an expert in that area, that would be greatly appreciated. And if we can just show up and get the word out and let people know that this summit is happening, and maybe we can have them more frequently, because there are, just with the 4 parcels that we're talking about, there's so many more that are under immediate threat. And so calling attention to all of these parcels, saving as many trees and green spaces as we can is the ultimate goal, and educating our community about the ways to do that. So if there are any questions, and thank you, Jarrell, for sending the save the date. We should have a flyer soon, so we'll be getting a flyer out for you all with the link so that you can register. And yes, if you could just share it and show up, that would be wonderful. If I can answer any questions related to the summit.
Mm-hmm. Did you want to talk about the image, Alana?
Yes. So
Yeah.
just to show, so both of these images here. So this is related to Morton Street, which I'm sure you guys have heard me go on and on. I've been coming up for a long time now to the meetings and talking about the 4 acres that a developer wants to convert to an artificial turf soccer field. And there's just so many issues with that. But the first main one being the loss of tree canopy that we would have related to that. So both of these pictures are along Morton Street. The first one on top is the actual canopy that would be impacted. And the second picture shows still Morton Street, but once you cross Morton and Harvard, this is what it looks like. When the trees aren't there, the space looks totally lifeless. It looks depressed. It's a huge heat island. And so what we're trying to convey and say, like Claire, you were talking about, both things can exist, you know, housing, parks, and all of that, but look at it through an environmental lens. There is no need to destroy 4 acres worth of canopy and natural assets, which we know are extremely limited in environmental justice communities, and create something looking like this bottom picture here, when you have an opportunity to restore and preserve this canopy and look at it, alternative options. Alternative options were never even thought about. It was laser focused on this total destruction. So, you know, we just want to have this image shown so people can see the contrast. Like, we all know, but to actually see the difference that trees make, it is just, to me, it's just unbelievable that we're still having to have conversations related to this project with all of the information that we know, with the emerging science about artificial turf, with the information we know about heat islands, the rising temperatures, the benefits trees provide, the increase in pollution, all that we know, and we still, the community has to justify why we should be allowed or be able to benefit from trees and green space.
Thank you, Alana. That was amazing. You know, I have to say that I have seen, I don't know, I don't want to sound cheesy, but I've seen your growth from when we first met and first started talking about this to how much more informed and how easy it is for you to convey how passionate you are about this. You know,
Thank you, Jarrell. That means so much.
I remember asking you a few buff meetings ago if you'd like to speak. You're like, no, not right now, not right now. You know,
Right, yeah.
I give you the hearts, but no, you're
Thank you.
really grown amazingly, and you know, we support the work that you're doing. We support you, and you know, I can't say it enough. So just thank you for your advocacy and passion for this project. This to save the sport, the canopy, you know, to save it all.
Yeah. Yeah, and I just want to say thank you. And I know I say it, but I just want to make sure I say it enough because I truly mean it. I thank all of you too. And because Jarrell, you and I have had many conversations, David, you guys, Sarah, Friends of Lanier Cast Boulevard, from day one, as soon as I started talking about this issue, yeah, and I was brand new. I was just an angry, concerned resident. I knew nothing of how to and that's why I'm trying to hope to provide information to others, because I didn't know. I learned from you guys. I was a blank slate and ready to absorb, a sponge, all of this information. You guys did that. You were there, supported without question, shared your knowledge. Like, I could not have done any of this without the help and the guidance and the support. So for you guys, I'm so thankful. And Jarrell, and I keep telling the story, when you asked me, you said, Alana, knowing the struggle, because it has been a struggle, it has drained the life out of me, but it is so worth it. You said, knowing what you know now, and if you knew the fight was going to be this difficult, would you have still continued to take on this fight? And I said, absolutely, I would have, for many reasons. And the main ones being because for all of you who I have met, our paths would not have crossed had not been for this issue. And I am so thankful for the friendships that have developed. For me, these are going to be lifelong friendships, because when we save Morton Street, because we will, I will be able to hopefully work with others and direct energy to help, and will help Sarah with Shattuck and all these other spaces. But what I've learned, the knowledge is tenfold, and the friendships that have been made, and the inner strength that I realize is there when something is, like you said, I'm passionate about it because it's just so wrong on so many levels. And yeah, I'm just going to keep that. I found my passion. This environmental work is what I love. It is so important. And I'm thankful for the space that you all have continued to create to allow for people who want to advocate the place to grow. Because yes, because I knew nothing and I'm still learning every single day. So thank you, you guys.
Thank you. Also, I just wanted to ask if you, when you have more information about the summit, like the date, the date's December 13th, right?
Yes,
The time when you have some sign up forms or, anything that you can share with us to, stay connected to the event, please share that with us.
thank you. And just to put the save the date out there, and thank you for sending it, Jarrell, and I'll put it in the chat. It's December 13th. It'll be online 6:30 to 8. And yes, Corey is working on a flyer for us, and we will get that to you hopefully within a week or so and get that sent out to the group.
All right, so it's gonna be virtual, right?
Yes,
Virtual meeting, okay, perfect. Thank you,
thank
Alana.
you.
Thank you
You're
so
welcome.
much. Does anyone have?
Do you have a time? I'm just taking notes
yeah.
here. Do you have a time yet, Alana? I just want to capture it in the notes for that meeting.
Yes, 6:30 to 8.
Thank you. Sorry, you might have said it. Thank you.
No, that's fine. Thank you.
Thank you. Does anyone else have any comments or questions before we move on? Okay, not seeing any hands raised or anything. Sorry, there's a fire truck going by. I wanted to extend my thank yous and appreciations to all of you who have taken the time over the year to meet with us and join us on our journey. Hey, Natasha, do you have something to say? No? Okay. The time that you've all taken over the year to meet with us and join us on our journey to read.
Sorry, I thought I was unmuted. I'm driving. I just wanted to mention
Okay.
that there's a big TED Talk this weekend on planetary stewardship. I didn't know if people knew about it. It's going to be at MIT and the New England Aquarium and at the library. And it's really focused on actions. So if you go to Eventbrite and put in planetary stewardship TED Talk, they're not getting a great response. They'd like to see more people there, but there's even going to be 8 billionaires ready to spend money on good projects, and people want to really focus on action. So tell your friends, try to come. So it's Sunday and Monday.
Thank you, Natasha. All right, Melissa, hi.
Yeah, I just wanted to pick up on Natasha. I've been involved in working on that planetary sustainability and helped to get a couple of local people into the lineup of speakers. Many of them speaking, some of the ones that I've pushed in particular are speaking to a lot of issues having to do with natural solutions. Leah Pennyman, for example, is someone who I've brought to it, who is at Soulfire Farm. And Kelsey Worth, who was one of the founders of Mothers Out Front, will be speaking there. And so I encourage people to think about attending. I just wanted to say that it's at the MIT Media Lab. So if people do want to attend, you can also just go to sort of TEDx Boston Planetary Sustainability, and you can sign up there as well. It will probably take you to Eventbrite, but it's going really from 8:30 to 6:30 that night. And then again, as I say, on Monday, but at different locations. But you can learn about that by going on to the TEDx Boston website and learn a lot more. So anyway, that's that.
Thanks, Melissa. Appreciate that. And thank you, Natasha, for bringing that to Buff. Appreciate that. All right, so now you will all see that I have this written down. So I was trying to, try to word it as best as possible, but I wanted to extend my thank yous again and appreciation to you all who have taken the time over the last year to meet with us and join us on this journey to regreen Boston and to preserve the trees and natural resources that have been here long before any of us. Today's meeting will be our last meeting of 2022. I want to wish you all a happy holiday season, however you choose to celebrate, and a happy new year. So we also have the Buff survey, if you wouldn't mind doing that. And I'm not looking at you, Erica. If it would just take a few minutes just to fill out the survey for us. I put it in the chat. And David says, looks like it's in David, what were you talking about? Sorry.
Sorry, I was responding to Erica's question about
Oh, I
yeah, sanitary stewardship, and then yeah, sorry.
No problem. I was like, what's in person?
I'm trying to figure out. Yeah, it looks like it's all over. It's also here in Dorchester. There's one. There's
That's right.
a Codman Academy.
Yep.
Oh, okay, that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm trying to navigate this website. It's a little confusing. It's hard to read.
Hmm.
Presenting
It
when.
is. Yep. They overlap. While it's going on at the MIT Media Lab, there are also simultaneously ones going on in the afternoon on Sunday at GBH Studios at the Boston Public Library, at the New England Aquarium, and then in fact at Codman Academy in Dorchester after school on Monday. So that's really aimed at school kids. So there's a number of different venues. It's a massive operation, and yeah, so you just have to kind of look around and see what speakers you might be interested in.
Awesome. Thank you. Okay, so yeah, if that's it, if no one has anything else to say, we are going to wrap up. And as I mentioned, we will see you all next year. And please fill out the survey, and we really appreciate you all. And thank you from all of us that Speak with the Trees. We will see you in 2023.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Bye.
Have a
Thank
great
you.
holiday season.
Thanks, Jerome.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, Jerome.
Thank you. Bye, Ilani. Hey, Ilani.
Bye.
Bye-bye.